And welcome back. And here we are with our island just kind of floating in space. We've got the sky, we've got the directional light, but there's still a lot we need to do. We don't have any vegetation on the island. We don't have any water around the island. We have work to do, but we'll get to it. We've got a couple more videos to go in this chapter probably. But one thing I have done while we were gone was I've gone in and smoothed out both the terrain topography. You look, the lower elevations are a little bit smoother there in the back of the island from where we are, and done just a little more stippling on the color to break it up. You can see there at the front of the lagoon, it's not quite as that big dark blob that was kind of there from the rock material. I kind of broke that up a little bit with just a couple of clicks of the brush using the good dirt. And again, we only have 4 different colors in our palette, so there's not a whole lot that we can do. Later on, maybe we'll have more, and if you really want to, we can spend a lot of time on things like this to get them just so. But for this demonstration, I think this is just fine. And so now in this video, we're going to add some trees. Now it's very interesting the way Unity has this set up. We painted the height of the landscape. We also painted the colors. Now we're going to paint trees onto the landscape. And these are going to be real 3D object trees that we're going to paint in mass quantities, as the coneheads say. So let's get to that. So the first thing we're going to do is find a place to put our trees. I'm just going to put them down here by the lagoon. So come in, Assets, Import Package, Tree Creator. And we're decompressing. And there they are. They're all checked. Click Import. And importing assets. For all the time it takes, you'd think that there'd be a lot of different trees that we have. There it is. Tree Creator, and of course we don't go in through the project menu. Click the terrain. 4th brush here is the Tree Painter. Edit Trees, Add Tree. And click on the little dot here. Wow, 2 whole trees. Well, let's choose the palm tree because that's more like what you might find on an island. So we'll click Add, and there it is in the palette. And now we've got some settings down here, and we won't spend a whole lot of time, but the brush size, the tree density is how thickly populated these trees are going to be when we paint them. Tree height variation, one little variation to the height. Tree width, and width variation. These variations don't do as much as you might like, I might hope, but there it is. And now we're going to zoom in here. Find a good place to paint our trees and click. We did paint a few trees just then, but they're very small because our island is actually much bigger than we might have thought. And there they are. And we're just zooming in here, and there's some more and a little more. You might not be able to tell right now that they are 3D, but as we rotate around, you can see it's 3D objects. So find a place to paint a few more here. And there we go. And I'm just single clicking. And you can take trees out by holding down the Shift key and clicking. And that sort of unpaints, and then unpaint drag you can do. And then you can just paint drag, which is the same thing, but not holding down the Shift key. Paint in a lot more trees. Now we can change the brush size so that we put in bigger areas or smaller areas. You can put in large areas and then come back and pull them out. But there we are. We've put trees in a small section here, and I'm not going to spend time, certainly not in the video, but probably not even for the demonstration, putting trees all over the island. You can if you want. There's there's lots of stuff you can do. You can spend all the time in the world working on these things, but that's it. That's a tree. It's one type of tree. It'd be nice if we had some other trees. Nice if we had some things like grass and weeds and rocks and things like that. And we'll get to that, and all kinds of other things. But for right now, that's it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one where we start working on some of those things.